In the heart of a glittering luxury boutique, a wealthy CEO humiliates a struggling single mother for daring to browse a handbag she can't afford, his sharp words slicing through her dignity. Just as the crowd begins to whisper, the glass doors swing open. In walks Jason Statham, calm but fierce, ready to put arrogance in its place. What happens next leaves the entire store stunned. The soft chime of the boutique's glass doors rang out as Emily Carter stepped inside, her fingers nervously tightening around the fraying strap of her worn-out purse. The luxury store smelled faintly of leather and expensive perfume, a place where the polished marble floors seemed to dare anyone without wealth to tread too confidently. She wasn't there to buy, not really. She was a single mother raising her 8-year-old son, Michael, and she knew full well that her bank account couldn't stretch to the kind of price tags dangling from the designer handbags on display. But she had promised herself she'd just dream for a few minutes. Maybe one day, after working hard enough, she could buy something beautiful that would make her feel like she wasn't always struggling to keep her head above water. Emily was tracing her fingers gently over a deep burgundy leather handbag when a cold, sharp voice cut through the soft hum of the store. "Careful," the voice drawled. "That bag costs more than your monthly rent." She froze, her cheeks burning as she turned to see a tall man in a tailored charcoal suit standing a few feet away. His salt and pepper hair was slicked back, his gold watch catching the light as if it needed to prove his worth. This was Henry Locke, a well-known CEO whose face occasionally appeared on business magazines in airport lounges. His smirk deepened as he stepped closer. "Some people really should stick to shops in their own bracket." The words sliced through Emily like a knife. She felt her throat tighten, the familiar sting of humiliation pressing against her eyes. She wanted to defend herself, to tell him he didn't know her story, how she worked 2 jobs, how she skipped meals so Michael could eat, how she was just trying to give herself a moment to feel like she belonged somewhere better. But she was frozen in place, her voice caught between anger and shame. Henry clearly relished her discomfort. "It's almost comical," he went on, his voice pitched loud enough for nearby shoppers to hear. "Browsing as if you could actually afford any of this. Maybe take a picture instead, souvenirs are free." A couple of customers glanced over, some with awkward pity, others with judgment in their eyes. Emily swallowed hard and turned away, trying to focus on keeping her composure. That was when a new voice entered the space, low, steady, and edged with quiet authority. "You've got quite a mouth on you for someone so insecure." Every head in the boutique turned toward the man standing in the doorway. Jason Statham, dressed in dark jeans and a simple black jacket, had walked in just in time to hear the last of Henry's taunts. He didn't look like he belonged in the store either, not in the way Henry meant, but there was something about his presence that instantly shifted the atmosphere. His gaze locked onto Henry's with the kind of intensity that made most men rethink their next words. Henry's smirk faltered for the briefest moment before he straightened his shoulders. "Do you know who I am?" he asked, his voice dripping with disdain. Jason stepped closer, his voice still calm. "I know exactly what you are. A man so desperate to feel important that he tears down strangers in public. You think money makes you better? It doesn't. It just makes you louder when you embarrass yourself." A murmur rippled through the store. Henry's face flushed, but he forced a laugh. "And who exactly are you to lecture me?" Jason tilted his head, his eyes narrowing slightly. "The guy who's not going to stand by while you treat people like dirt." He glanced toward Emily, giving her a reassuring nod before turning his attention back to Henry. "You see, it's easy to mock someone when you've never had to fight for every scrap. But strength isn't about the number in your bank account, it's about how you treat people who can't give you anything back." Henry opened his mouth to retort, but Jason stepped forward just enough to close the space between them. His voice dropped to a near whisper, yet everyone could hear it. "You're not intimidating. You're just small. And right now, the only thing people in this store will remember is that you picked on a woman for daring to dream, and someone called you out." Henry's eyes darted around, realizing the other shoppers were watching, some even glaring at him. His carefully crafted image was cracking under the weight of the moment. He muttered something under his breath and, with an awkward jerk, turned on his heel and stormed out of the store. The glass doors closed behind him with a final, satisfying chime. For a heartbeat, the store was silent. Then, as if on cue, someone began clapping. It spread quickly until the whole boutique seemed to join in. Emily felt her face flush again, but this time it wasn't from shame, it was from gratitude and a strange, unfamiliar pride. Jason gave her a small smile and shrugged. People like that, they're only as big as you let them be. Emily swallowed, her voice trembling. Thank you. I didn't know what to say to him. Jason shook his head. You don't owe anyone an explanation for who you are or what you can afford. Keep working hard. The things that matter, the things you've already got, can't be bought in a place like this. Emily felt her eyes sting again, but this time the tears that threatened weren't from hurt. She managed a small smile. I'll remember that. Jason gave her one last nod before heading toward the door, the quiet respect in the room following him as he left. Emily lingered for a moment, looking back at the burgundy handbag she had admired earlier. She didn't need it today. But she walked out of the boutique with her head a little higher, her steps a little steadier, knowing that her worth had never been, and would never be, defined by a price tag. Outside, the city bustled on, unaware of the small victory that had taken place inside those marble walls. But for Emily, it was a turning point, a reminder that dignity could be defended, that kindness could stand tall against cruelty, and that sometimes, just sometimes, a stranger could walk in and change the course of your day, and maybe even your life.